Welcome everybody to day 2 of It's Pixel's 5 days of vehicle reviews. During this event, every day for 5 days, Pixel will review one of Jailbreak's most iconic vehicles. Today's select car needs no introduction, especially if you've watched Back to the Future, so sit back, relax, and enjoy Pixel's review of the DeLorean.
The DeLorean is the closest thing Jailbreak has to a time machine. Except for maybe the crew capsule, but we know that old thing can't actually time travel. The DeLorean was added all the way back in the same update as the bank truck and the Beam hybrid during Season 1, New Beginnings. It spawns at the power plant and costs $175,000. But is this plutonium-powered sports car any good? Well, looking at its stats, the DeLorean is the only vehicle in the game able to drive on both land and water. As long as you don't go diving in headlights first, you're able to drive on water as if it's just flat terrain. Granted, you do move more slowly as if you were underwater, but this is still a pretty neat feature. And while it's a significantly unique ability this car possesses, it's not a super useful one. If you play as a criminal, then yes, most police chasing you will start drowning if they also aren't above water. But I feel like most police chases don't usually end up near bodies of water large enough to justify using the DeLorean. However, in those very niche situations, I could see why using this car could be a one-up above others. It's also able to get to the oil rig without getting zapped to oblivion, so that's pretty useful too. Regardless of whether or not this feature is particularly useful, I still think it's an absolute blast to be cruising around in this car and then just decide, you know, if Jesus could walk on water, why can't I drive on water? Once again, you can't dive into the water at a steeper angle, otherwise you'll end up under the sea like any other vehicle. You also can't get out of this car while on the water or it'll sink under the sea. As for the rest of the DeLorean stats, it has a top speed of... Wait, what the... Why hello dear viewers, it is I, old-timey Pixel, here today to share with you the wondrous statistics associated with the DeLorean from Roblox Jailbreak. This spectacular automobile boasts an adequate top speed of 188 miles per hour, or 382 kilometers per hour for my lovely chaps outside the United States. It acquires this top speed in relatively 30 seconds with the addition of good old handy-dandy overdrive. At 105 miles per hour, this futuristic four-wheeled machine gains a burst of acceleration, similar to something like the Arachnid or the Shogun. The only complaint I must present in regards to this feature is that overdrive is activated at 105 miles per hour and not the famous 88 miles per hour like from the films. Oh well, it is but a missed opportunity, not a downside. Concerning the DeLorean's acceleration in general, it's not terribly unremarkable. In a single second, it can achieve a rate of 56 miles per hour, but then it slows down a profound amount until our grandiose friend overdrive takes over, and this vehicle's acceleration picks up once more. As for the remaining figures, the DeLorean holds an unimpressive reverse speed of 56 miles per hour. It does display rather splendid steering capability and quite magnificent braking speed, coming to a halt in 1 second. It contains beneficial off-roading skills as well. That's about all I have to share with you in regards to the DeLorean's nominal vehicular ability. It's nothing special by many means, but it's most certainly not dreadful for the price listed. Now, if you'll excuse me, I must return to the present day at once. Toodaloo! Well, that was something. Now let's talk about the design of this car. The DeLorean is based on the DeLorean DMC-12 and is one of the few cars in Jailbreak to have a name the same as the existing brand of car it's based on. I like the DMC-12. I think it's cool. But the cooler variant of this car, in my opinion, is the DeLorean Time Machine from Back to the Future. It's a really awesome design, but we're here to talk about Jailbreak, so let's do that. In terms of detail, there isn't too much to comment on with the DeLorean, but I'll give it my best shot. First off, the doors are, I'm not gonna lie, pretty sick. This was the first land vehicle with animated doors, if we're not counting the Beam hybrid, but this car was unlockable before that one anyway. This was also the 9th vehicle to have an interior, which kinda shows because it's detailed adequately. It's not bad, but it doesn't come close to many other cars. The rest of the DeLorean is similarly describable. It's good looking, but just lacks that level of detail newer vehicles have. Despite that, it is more detailed than the JB8, and it looks good, so I don't know why I sound like I'm complaining. As for customization, there's nothing huge to note here. Unfortunately, there's not really much you can do to make this car look like the DeLorean time machine, other than the overdrive spoiler on the back, but I tried my best. All in all, the DeLorean is a funky car with average performance, but being able to drive on water makes it fun enough to be very worth the price. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for the next vehicle in 5 days of vehicle reviews.